Morning and welcome to Friday Morning Arcade. I'm your host, Brady Keith. Joining me is my co-hosts,
Nick Ryan.
And Canton hologram lover Roberts.
And today we are going to be covering Detroit Become Human, which I will start us off. It's one of my favorite games because it's not really, I guess, a game in a way. It's more of a
Cop simulator.
like in a way, but also I kind of want to say it's like a visual storytelling novel that you are able to make choices in, and like it's sort of like how the Telltale games, your choices matter. Your choices matter in this game. So it's kind of a different approach and take on the traditional role-playing first-person robot simulator game.
Yeah. To me, so to kind of start us off, I guess we're kind of going the gameplay route. It feels so. I played Beyond Divination, which is the game that Quantum Dream developed before this game, and it kind of has a similar feeling to it, and like with the art style and stuff, it almost feels like a carbon copy. But one thing that I really loved about this game especially is that there's very few investigative police work games nowadays. You don't really have LA Noire, you don't have I'd say even like the original like Resident Evil games, and so like being able to like simulate, like NCIS or a lot of those other big cop shows, I think is super unique. And so the fact that like you, and especially since like the controls of it all is broken down into buttons, it feels super simplistic, but it's super. It gives players a very controlled sandbox, but it also gives players enough freedom to do whatever they want, and in a way that you feel like every single step is going to make a decision. And I think that it's a very interesting like take on like what life means, and like it's very like existentialism, and I just think that's one of the most unique feeling and one of the most unique playing games, especially of the 2018 PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, I think.
Xbox One or S.
Yeah, like of the that generation. So you've kind of have a little bit more experience than what I do. So what are your thoughts on it?
When I play this game, all those like books where we choose your own adventure and you go move over to page 33.
Yeah, I miss those books.
One of those games. Like, there's so many decisions that actually change the outcome of the game. I've played so many open world game where changes matter, but you get the same ending no matter what. But in this game, it actually feels like Connor, Marcus, and Kara are actually people or involved in the story and actually have agency somewhat, even though they're androids. But it actually feels like you're making a change in the world, which a lot of games really don't have. And the graphics, by God. The graphics.
Ooh, like we talk one that is mine and Nick's, as you've seen in multiple episodes. That is mine and Nick's. That is our biggest like go-to on the games, is how does it look graphically? And this game for the consoles it were released on, I cannot wait for like PS5 Series X remasters for these games, because that looks good back then. Imagine how good they'll look on these new consoles. Like, we talk about graphics are our number one thing when we're reviewing games. And in 2018, I was just blown away with how real, how much it looked like I was just watching something instead of playing a game. Because like back then you had like game graphics where you could tell you were playing a game. This, I'm just like, am I watching a TV show? Am I actually playing something? Like, there are certain things where you have to run, you have to do other like cop missions that felt like a game. but there's so much story tale and like episode effects towards this game that it really blows other games out of the water graphically in a way, you know?
Yeah. So I just looked up like a lot of the FPS data and stuff. So according to a lot of people on Reddit, even whenever you're playing on the PlayStation 4, you're capping at around 40 frames per second, and especially a game that for console-wise is built at 30 frames per second is really, really good. And I'm assuming that that's probably where I capped in at. I'm not really sure. And I'm sure that you could probably get that easily, like playing on the PlayStation 5. But yeah, like graphically, it's one of the best looking games ever. And it's kind of in a way, it really speaks about the type of graphical fidelity of that era of like games. You think of like Batman Arkham Knight and Infamous Second Son and a lot of those like early PlayStation 4 games, where like those games look really, really good, and I'd say even better than a lot of PlayStation 5 like new AAA games. We talked a lot about, like, in Assassin's Creed Shadows is, like, the lighting. And the lighting in this game really, really helps that. Like, yeah, like...
Does it ever help, man? Like,
Yeah.
The lighting on this in this game creates something beyond the fourth dimension, I guess, is an easy way to describe it. Like, the lighting helps the graphics evolve and become, like, honestly, I think this might be one of the greatest graphics in video game history, which I know there's so much more in the future that could evolve, but honestly, I think this is one of the Mount Rushmore games for graphics, and the way it's, if you've played Death Stranding, it's that sort of graphic style of like The Last of Us 1 and 2, Death Stranding, this game, Detroit Become Human. Those are all in the same way of motion capturing, and I think motion capture games are going to be what advances graphics in the video game industry, because of how beautiful and how well designed the games come out. Like, if you look at this game, certain areas, it really feels like you're in a city, or you're in the environment. Like, when I'm just gonna bring up, because they're kind of in the same area, when I was playing Avengers, the Xbox Series X game, I could tell that I was in a game, and like I knew where I was. Like in Watch Dogs Legions, I knew where I was, and then in this game, like I knew I was playing a game in those games. But this one, I'm like, am I playing a game right now, or am I in New York City? Like, they're so well done because of motion capture. So I'm a very big fan of motion capture because it can produce stuff like this game. Now, like, back to what you were saying and stuff, Nick. And this game, the lighting is what really makes this game. It really helps further and beautifully well design a game. It's hard to say that about certain games nowadays of like, oh, lighting is what matters. This game, lighting matters, graphics matter, the acting, the voice acting, the motion capture, all of it matters.
Yeah, kind of like going back to that whole idea of like when you are playing this game, it really reminds me of like like Cyberpunk and even Blade Runner 2047, I think it's called.
2077?
Yeah, 27. Yeah. Like, where it's like you feel like Ryan Gosling, like running around. I mean, like, which, I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't, you know? But it's those, like, it's that immersion that I think really helps prop it up. And I don't think with something like Death Stranding for me, like, has a lot of kind of boring parts that, like, are easily made up with the story and, like, the visuals for sure, but there's still boring parts in there, and, like, throughout the game. And the fact that this game doesn't have that, and you're constantly, it reminds me a lot of, like, the difference between, like, something from, like, Fallout or even like Skyrim to like Bethesda's Dishonored series, where Bethesda's like Fallout stuff is like you can do all of these different quests and stuff, but at the end of the day, you're going to end up with like 3 endings. With Dishonored, every step that you take, every quest that you do, is going to lead to whatever your ending will be. And it's that whole idea of like intentionality within game design, which I think is like super super cool. What are your thoughts on like the visuals overall, Canton?
There's a shot of Marcus right before he's about to discover Jericho, where he's stepping off this bridge, and it slows down, and like you said about the lighting, it helps out a lot, and it helped out a lot here because you guys see the shadow of Marcus like against the other building, and it's just so cinematic. I screenshotted it. It might be my new background on my desktop because it looks so beautiful. Because it's just him gracefully just like dropping down, and it slows down perfectly, and it's symbolizing. I feel like that's the part of the story where like it really starts to pick up, but the visual side of it is just. Like he was saying about Mount Rushmore, I have like Detroit Become Humans up there, Red Dead 2, Spider-Man 2018. I'm not sure what my 4th final game would be, but Detroit is definitely on there. But in terms of story or gameplay, however you want to take it.
What you were saying about how your choices led to your endings, and how personally I am a big fan of the mobile game Simulacra. And in those games, every single choice you make chooses the way your game ends. So if you choose this option instead of this one, it starts you off on this path, and then all your choices will get you to end in one path. So with Detroit Become Human, all of your choices are winding and binding together and creating your ending for you. That's what I really love about this game and the story-wise, is the way how your choices will choose and narrow down a ending path. Like how in Simulacra 1, there's like 5 endings where you save one person and don't save the other. You save the other and don't save the one. You can save both, or you save none of them and join the dark side. Like there's so many different endings to those games, and each choice matters. You have to pick a certain choice to get a certain way. So like it's a very, very cool concept that I think a lot of these style games and other games need to add when they're doing choice-based games, is the way your choices choose the way your ending path follows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, to me, and like the fact that like the emotion put in, and a lot of it kind of comes back to like the mocap and, you know, the importance of that, especially within modern gaming now. You know, the fact that like it's not just like the main character or even some of the side characters, it's the culmination of it that, you know, really makes every playthrough and every decision either really, really heartfelt or really, really satisfying. And the fact that you're able to do that no matter which ending you do is, I mean, like, for instance, you know, like Dark Souls kind of has that same thing, to where it's like, you might like a certain ending, but like, you know that at the end of the day, those endings, and a lot of it too is because of the difficulty of the game, and it's just like, oh, I'm finished with this stupid game. But the fact that like you're able to do that, and that's something that I kind of wish that like Spider-Man 2018 kind of, I wish that they would have implemented, was that whole idea of like choice, like that, the final scene with Aunt May, having that full, decision. I mean, there's a lot of big decisions within Detroit Become Human, but like that decision would have been like super unique, and it could have led to a bunch of different outcomes. And that's something that kind of going to like that, really pinpointing like the idea of choice. I just finished up the second Infamous, and my biggest problem with the first and second Infamous is nuance, right? And it's that whole idea of like kind of ignoring that, like, in certain situations there's a gray area, and always kind of moving to this whole idea that, oh, well, every single one of your like movements is going to be a black and white mentality. And with Detroit Become Human, there's so much nuance within those that I sit there and I'm like, man, I would love to see another Infamous with this type of decision making. And like you said, like that whole idea of like choose your own adventure. But yeah, Canton, what's your thoughts on like the overall like narrative of it? We can't really go full into like detailed, but like overall, I guess.
There's a lot of games I've played and seen where, like I said earlier, they'll like say every choice matters, but really it's just the last one that matters. Well, I feel like Detroit has you work for every ending, even if it's the great ending, the bad ending, the middest ending. Like, it has you actively work. The only way I can truly see you be disappointed with an ending is if you have all three characters off, or main characters off, and then that's just when the game just stops. But every ending is satisfying. You have to work for it. You can't just pick up the game and play and then restart it, because you get attached to the characters, like on like the first like story mission that you get with them. Like, you get so attached that you think, oh, I can just pick it up and then put on. But as soon as you pick it up, you're like 2 weeks into trying to get Kara and Alice somewhere safe.
Yeah.
Like, it makes the characters make you care about them, and I think what helps them during that is the side characters. With you have Hank with Connor, you have Kara and Alice. Marcus doesn't really have anyone. I mean, it's North if you care about her for some reason, but Alice and Hank, in my opinion, carry Connor and Kara very well. What else shall we talk about this game?
We've been talking a lot about the mocap and the voice acting and the acting of this game. My gosh, if this game was a movie or a TV show, this game would be nominated for almost any sort of acting or supporting role. Like, everybody in this game put on an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar-winning performance. Like, everything about the acting of this game is top notch, and the fact that there's so many like relatable things, but also the way when you're playing certain characters, the way you're able to talk, and the way you're able to like in the movie There Will Be Blood, how Daniel Plainview, or Daniel Day-Lewis, the actual actor, was able to portray such an convincing and salesman and businessman. Was like, I am an oil man. I am here to buy your land and create oil and give you money. Like, he was so convincing and was able to take his character in its own way. And they do that really well in this game, in the way every actor was able to create something unique to them, and each actor having its own sort of emotional ties or responses or their own unique line or unique acting style to each character, really really ties this game up together with a little pretty pink bow. Like, it's such a beautifully done game, and why I really think that this game deserves a spot on the Mount Rushmore of great games.
Yeah, like with the whole entire thing with mocap and kind of what we've seen, like with a lot of the backlash of like Last of Us, is like the fact of you have characters who have been established, and it's like, well, the mocap, actor per se isn't truly an actor, and so you can't really like complete like with one character, like, yes, it's one person, but there's a person doing mocap, and then there's another person that's doing, the facial recognition stuff, and then there's another one that's doing voice acting. With Detroit Become Human, that's all. That's all those people are doing. One of my favorite deliveries, or my favorite characters, is Clancy Brown's Hank. I mean, Hank's story and, the arc that him and... I always forget the robot's name. Connor. Yeah, I always think of Eli, but I think Eli is, like, the actor's name.
It's Brian.
Huh?
It's Brian DeChart, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I know what I think you're trying to think of Hank's, like, dead son.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that could be
okay. Okay.
His opt son.
Yeah. So, my whole thing is that, like, that, like, and like what he said, like, if that was converted into a movie, oh my lord, that would have been one of the greatest performances, one of the greatest stories. And especially for a lot of movies now, we need that type of impactfulness. We need that type of emotion.
We're looking at you, Amelia Perez.
Yeah, we're looking at you, Haley Seinfeld and Michael B. Jordan.
Whoa. Sinners is one of the greatest movies of this generation. Amelia Perez used AI and won stupid awards, which sucks. They literally use AI to help their movie and enhance their movie. So don't be talking about Sinners. Sinners is one of the best movies of the 21st century.
Okay, it's just
we're
Twilight.
both ready to crash out on you.
It's Twilight in the Bayou. That's really all.
Twilight in the Bayou.
Whoa, okay.
Right.
We're gonna move on before me and Canton crash out.
So, but Canton, what's your favorite delivery within the game? Do you have a favorite character?
Favorite character is Hank, played by Mr. Krabs himself, by I add. But my favorite delivery is one where Connor's talking to Hank in the police station, and he goes, "I like dogs." Like, okay, cool. I'm glad that you like dogs, Connor.
It's very much like your little neighborhood kid at the pool,
Yeah.
or like your little cousin just trying to talk to you and connect with you, and it's just, I like dogs.
I
Or
like
it's like
dogs.
that interview. The kid in the interview is like, I like turtles.
Yeah.
But no, I think one of my favorite line deliveries is Hank's when Connor's staring at the androids in the thing, which we can't actually say, unfortunately. But it's one of my favorite line deliveries because it's just, Connor, what are you doing? Just I can't say the full thing. It's just the full blown. What are you
There's a lack
doing?
of respect for
Just
procedure
so,
and despises androids,
what are you
which makes
doing?
our
Yeah,
relationship
there's
difficult.
I really love. See, it's
Unfortunately,
funny because
we have
these
no
guys
choice
have
but to
very
work with
unserious
What do you
lines.
think is the
My
best
favorite one is whenever they're in the
will
house and
try to
Connor
establish a
finds out
friendly
about
relationship.
his past and stuff
If I
like
can get him to
that's
trust me, it will be
one
help-
of, if not the most emotional scenes within video games I've ever come across. But another really great one is Connor's 29 stab.
28 stab.
28.
He's in the interrogation. It's just, he walks in, slams the door, takes the manila folder.
28
stab wounds.
That's I love that line so much.
so bad. It's so
so
good.
good.
It's so good. I
But
love
yeah.
you, Brian.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. But yeah, this game, just to kind of wrap up my own thoughts, is that I would love to see Detroit Become Human 2, or even something. I'm not sure if Quantum is doing any other games, but like I would love to see like another game by these guys and like having ones that like having something to the effect of Beyond or even it's not Beyond a divination. I'm sorry. Beyond Two Souls. I completely messed that up. But yeah, those two games I would love to see either like a combination of them into like a fresh new story or even a direct sequel would be nice.
Yeah, I genuinely think this is a Mount Rushmore caliber game. Like, it's such a good game. There's so many great lines, so many. The game it's so emotional, like how I mentioned with "And There Will Be Blood." His scene in the church where he's like, "I've abandoned my child. I've abandoned my child." It brings so much raw emotion and just so much like such a powerfulness to each role that they do really well in this game. Like how he was talking about how his favorite thing is the emotional scene of Connor in the house discovering about himself. Like there's so much. It's such a like great game in the way of it can bring out your emotions. It's a very emotional, very story driven, very well acted and well delivered performance that genuinely we need something new. We need something new from them. We need a part 2 of this game. We need a side game with side characters. We need Hank's story. We could play a game of Hank's story. Like we need something, man. That's one of my closing things. Is we need something.
Yeah, we just need like Patrick Star to come back. I know that. Yeah, Patrick Star. I know that he was technically in Dexter. It's not New Blood.
The Original Sin?
No, what's the old one back in 2021?
Is that not just Dexter?
Yeah, is it not just Dexter?
It
There's
might be
Dexter. There's Dexter. The Original Sin or something.
Which Original Sin is whenever he was younger, right?
Yeah, the Original Sin is the brand new one, I
Okay.
think. But they're like Dexter. I don't know. There's so many shows. Is it Dexter New Blood?
I heard Dexter's a good show.
Yeah.
Great show.
The filler. Hot Dog Man.
Yes, sir.
Filler Man.
Okay, yeah, I think it's
Hello.
Dexter Original Sin. But yeah, Brian Clancy is in that one too. So, yeah, if you want to hear Patrick Star as a mass murderer.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's your thoughts on it, Canton?
Kind of going back to the movie. After the recent game movies, Halo, like the life adaptations, like Mario, Minecraft,
Borderlands.
Halo.
Borderlands.
Probably the dumpster fire that's about to be Until Dawn.
Last of Us. I'm kidding.
Last of Us has been. Last of Us
yeah,
is kind of out of that
I
exception.
like Last
Like,
of Us. I just wanted to get a.
bro,
rise
I'm
out.
telling you, the game wrecked me. Season 2, episode 2 still wrecked me. That,
Oh, yeah.
and what I saw was even criminaler. There was a live golf event right next to The Last of Us, which I'm like, oh, HBO, you are cruel. You are a cruel, cruel company.
Yeah.
I feel like a good start to the video game movie market would have been Detroit Become Human.
Oh, yeah,
Just
for sure.
simply.
They need something.
Not Mario and Minecraft.
Mortal Kombat.
This
God.
game would have been the perfect way to start doing movies, was to take this game, choose a line to get to the ending of choices, put it into movie format. Bring all the original characters, bring everybody else, just bring it into real life and have it choose a way to go through it, all the options, and then make it into real life, make it into a movie would be one of the best movies I think they could possibly do. Or
We'll
they
even do
have
a
like
show.
multiple. Yeah, like a show,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
how
so
What If,
each-
or like Visions.
Yeah, so like with each episode is like a new like ending, basically.
A new ending, or stay with me here. You choose your own
Yeah.
way. You choose your. So
Yeah.
there's like they release so many episodes, but you choose your way.
Yeah.
So like it's a choose your way book, but in show formats. Like
Yeah.
the episode will end at this option. Like how how Netflix has those interactive.
Yeah, I was about to say Puss in Boots.
Those
Yeah.
interactive episodes or movies where you can choose which way. Do that for Detroit
Yeah.
Becoming Human. That'd be such a fun little thing to do.
Yeah.
And why, like last bit, so there's a scene that I won't describe, but it affected me in such a way that I literally had to step out of my room and like go to the living room because it was so heartbreaking. Like it changed me. This game changed me.
If you haven't played this game, like play it. Play
Please.
it. I think it's like $10 or like maybe $15 on PlayStation Network, or I know that's on Steam. Super cheap game. Go play it and go play it Beyond Two Souls too. So, but yeah, I think that's all we really have.
That's all we got. So this is Brady Keith
This is Nick Ryan.
This is Canton hologram lover Roberts.
signing off from the arcade.
Deuces.
Ooses.
Daddy's very mad. You deserve to be taught a good lesson. A good fucking lesson.
Hey, water. Rain check. It's all the same to you.
When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it?
Where the fuck you going, Tin Can?
What are you doing?
No kidding. Hey guys, check it out. We got one of those tin cans here.
Look at this little motherfucker. You steal our jobs, but you can't even stand up.
You ain't going anywhere. We're gonna fuck your bitch ass up. Yeah, waste it.
Do it!
All right. It's enough. Leave it alone.
Let us teach this bastard a lesson.
You damage it, I'm gonna have to find you.